Welcome to the Falcon Fictive Assassin's Creed live stream, in which I, Bruno Falcon, have endeavored to play through all of the Assassin's Creed franchise and talk about the various different histories therein. Interestingly enough, we'll be talking about the 3 different layers of history in the early games. Specifically, for those who don't know, the Assassin's Creed games cover this fun, near future world where you can, through technology, experience genetic memories in a very vivid way. So we'll be covering the genetic memory history, which is this past that we're walking in right now. We're also going to be covering the present state of the game, which is the voiceover that we're currently hearing. And then the fun thing that I'm really excited to talk about, that I think is going to be kind of the interesting path to talk through, is going to be the ways in which we can talk about the channel of the development timeline of the game. So basically talking about when and where the game is being developed and what that looks like and how that's happening. That ain't right. Now you're seeing me in stereo. That's terrifying. Oh no. Well, okay, guys, this is fun. Well, this actually gives me, I think this gives me a better chance to do the pitch on the whole project while I have you all captive before I even load up the screen for the game. So I had this idea because my friend Jesse and I were talking about, like, how do you talk about how history is kind of recursive and politics are weird in a way that other people can engage with who aren't, like, here in DC with us and doing the whole dang thing constantly all the time. And it got me thinking about Assassin's Creed, and some interesting ways that, honestly, those games on the 3-layer history that exists inside of them do line up in interesting ways with the development of, like, with history. The first game is kind of fascinating in that it the first game is pretty fascinating in that it is released in 2007 and at the end of the W. Bush era, and is telling this story about kind of the beginning of a new type of forever war, in a way that is really kind of bizarre. And it creates a space that I think are that then produces some interesting things in the parallel sort of near future space that is this stand-in for a near future New York that is also in this game that's a post 9/11 game. And what I want to do with this is kind of play through these things and do some stuff that's exploring this a little bit, and engaging with it a little bit more. And I am excited to sort of dive into that and play around with it. As a professional, you would think that as a video professional, you would think that I had this a little bit better in hand. So the game takes place during the Third Crusade, so that's 1191, and follows Altair, who is this guy. He's kind of an arrogant prick at the moment. And the inspiration for the game during the development was it came out after Prince of Persia and was basically they wanted to do something. They wanted to do something that had the feel of one of the Prince of Persia games. And the lead game developer was reading up on secret societies and came across the origination of the historic assassins and just kind of ran with it, which is how you end up here with the assassins and then the oppositional Templar, which
his life is mine.
one of the other interesting things that I keep coming back to as I think about this game is sort of where we are in the specifically like the American imaginary of the Middle East and conflict in 2007. So the development window leading up to this game is where we really come to start referring to the concept of the American Forever War, specifically focused on the Middle East and Afghanistan, and so much of the visual of communities like this, sort of the mountainous region, homes that look like this, were core to the American imaginary of the places we were talking about and conflict that we were talking about. Now, that wasn't the entire story, but it was a really big part of it. And it's very interesting to see a game coming out where the protagonist is a Muslim assassin being framed in this particular set of social circumstances. Like this is a, we're getting a lot of framing that I think would be familiar to an American audience, especially like an American game and film audience at the time. It brings to mind there's a documentary, Real Bad Arab, that discusses presentation of Arabic communities, specifically Arab men, in film.
The master waits with
Three Kings. I mean, it's the list goes on and on, but it's kind of fascinating to see a game come out at the time that is really framing a forever war from the perspective of, this is our protagonist character, this is our perspective character, that is then going to be framed against
Altair,
the European
come forward.
force.
Tell me of your mission.
Oh, Saved by the Bell. Val just got home. Hell yeah, we're on. I don't gotta go upstairs at all.
fruits and vegetables from nearby farms.
Stream until I die.